Hey, Bob, is that monitor on? Because that's how the speakers turn on, I think.
Yeah, that was right.
Okay, good.
And we're live. Good evening, everyone. We're going to call tonight the Planning Commission regular meeting agenda for December 2nd. We're going to do that again. Apologize. I'm going to call to order the December 2nd Plan Commission regular meeting. If we can stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Craig,
Yes.
if you could do roll call, please, sir.
Mr. Burleson,
Here.
Ms. Cardona,
Here.
Ms. Woland,
Here.
Ms. Little,
Here.
Mr. Gillette,
Present.
Mr. Gill,
Here.
Mr. Kennedy,
Here.
Craig Phillips, Town Manager, is present. Ken Kraus,
Here.
Adam Decker,
Here.
Paul Panzik,
Here.
Brian Blazak.
Here.
Okay, so you have all 7 members present, which constitutes a quorum.
We have a quorum. Very good. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Next on our agenda, we have our first public hearing. This is the preserves at Rosewood Estate. The petitioner. Oh, I'm sorry. Minutes. I've been asked to make a motion for deferral of all minutes until they can get caught up on the minutes. So if I can get a motion to defer in a second.
Motion to defer the minutes?
I got a motion by Bob. Is there a second?
This is John. I'll second.
I'm sorry, who is it?
John.
John. Thanks, John. I got a second by John. Craig, roll call, please.
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona,
Yes.
Woland,
Yes.
Ms. Little,
Yes.
Mr. Gillette,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, motion to defer passes. We will have someone start working on those to get caught up. Bob, and thanks for the catch. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Next on the meeting, again, public hearing, the preserves at Rosewood Estate. Schilling Development is seeking primary plat approval of a 2-lot subdivision located on the north side of Alvina Rose Court. Mr. Slager, how are you, sir?
Good evening, Jack Slager with Schilling Development, representing the Preserve, and...
Jack, I'm
oh,
sorry, one
go
minute. I apologize. Craig, Adam, I know I have all the green cards. I assume, or take for, we're ready for public hearing tonight?
Yes, Mr. President, this is Adam Decker. Mr. Slager delivered the proofs of publication yesterday to my office. I've had a chance to review them. All notices to interested parties are in order, and we may proceed.
Thank you, sir. All right.
All right, thank you.
Apologize, I gotta
Yeah.
make sure we got that taken care of.
No, and this is actually the second time we tried this, so the last time we were missing one, and so we re-advertised the paper, the notices, so almost everybody's received 2 certified letters at this point. We've talked about this at the last couple of study sessions. This is the 2 lots lying north of Rosewood, formerly the Casboni property. We had the property rezoned into an R1 zoning. We're here tonight requesting primary plat approval for the 2 lots. The left one to the west is 1.5 acres. The one to the east is 1.8 acres. They both meet or exceed the R1 requirements for size and frontage. The big question that all the neighbors have, and we've gotten repeatedly, is 2 things. They will be joined into the Rosewood, the existing Rosewood Homeowners Association, because they because they front into the subdivision. So we've talked to Gina Garina, who is the head of the HOA, and they're in agreement. So these two lots will join the HOA of Rosewood. And we've also copied the covenants of Rosewood so that the future buildings, homes on these two lots will match the covenants for the existing covenants of Rosewood. Other than that, we talked a little bit at the last study session about the sidewalk. The lot to the east has an existing sidewalk in front of it. The lot to the west will get a sidewalk when the home is built, and it will reach from the end of the existing sidewalk to the intersection. At that point, the grade drops off too steeply to have a sidewalk, so you'll get about 200 feet of sidewalk in front of Lot 1. There's also a small outlot to the west of Lot 1 that will allow a future sidewalk to extend north into the future development to the north of this property, and will tie the Rosewood subdivision in with the future subdivision that's planned to the north.
But that sidewalk's gonna be on the north side of the road, correct?
Correct.
Okay, for the lot to the west.
Yep.
Okay.
So lot 16 and 15, Jack, currently there's not a sidewalk there? Or there is?
I'm not, 16 and 15.
Those are to the south.
South of,
Yes, there are sidewalks there, yes.
okay.
Yep, the darker lines are existing sidewalks.
Any questions? Jack, were you done?
Yeah, I'm,
Any questions from the board to Jack before I open it up to a public hearing?
Mr. President, this is Ken.
Yes, sir?
Jack also told me that they're buying a triangular sliver of land there at the southwest corner of Lot 1 that currently belongs to the Rosewood lot, just to the southwest there.
Yeah, lot 25.
So that will become a part of the area where they can go up through that outlot A without crossing private property.
that's correct. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Ken. So we're gonna have the sidewalk tie-in right where the crossing is now on Elvina Rose Court. And, yeah, we discovered there's a little sliver of land there. So we have negotiated to purchase that from the adjoining homeowner, and that works out well.
So when you plat lot 1, then that will reflect that?
Yeah, we'll probably either well, we're platting Lot 1 now, so we'll just make it another outlot. It'll be part of the HOA.
Okay.
Again, any questions from the board? If not, I will open it up to public hearing.
Échale la vitamina que está by the,
Hearing no questions from the boards or comment, I'm going to open it up to public hearing. Now opening up to public hearing, if there's anyone from the public that's currently here, or is there anyone online that would like to speak regarding primary plat approval for Rosewood Estates? The preserves at Rosewood Estates. Again, another call. Anyone making public comment? Once, twice. I will close the public hearing for the preserves at Rosewood Estate. Craig, had we received any correspondence from anyone in the neighborhood or any community member?
We have not.
Okay.
I would ask one other thing, and I think I brought this up previously. If it's your pleasure, we would ask that we ask for primary and final plat tonight because of the simplicity of the development, just so we don't have to come back again for another meeting.
And that's something we have done in the past for residential lots where all the utilities are already nearby. All right, I'll bring it back to the board if they have any other additional questions or comments for Jack. If not, I will entertain a motion regarding primary plat approval.
Like to make a favorable recommendation for the preserve at Rosewood Estates.
I got a favorable recommendation from Bob.
Mr. Chairman?
Or you- not a
Yeah, I'm
recommendation.
sorry, Mr. Chairman, this is Adam Decker. There's no recommendation being made by the Plan Commission. The
Yeah.
Plan Commission has authority to approve
Right.
or disapprove of this plat. So that the motion should be to approve or disapprove of the plat.
You should know this by now. Thank you, Adam.
Let me clear that then. I want to make a motion to approve the preserve at Rosewood Estates.
I second.
Second was Nancy.
Yes.
I got a second by Nancy. Discussion? Anyone from the board, discussion? Hearing no discussion. Craig, roll call, please.
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona,
Yes.
Ms. Woland,
Yes.
Ms. Little,
Yes.
Mr. Gillette,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yes. Motion approved 7-0. It has been asked by the petitioner for consideration of secondary or final plat approval for the preserves at Rosewood Estates. Comments, consideration from the board? I will entertain a motion.
Mr. President,
Yes, Ken?
if you approve secondary plat,
You know,
could you approve it with the contingency of that little sliver being shown on the Mylar? At lot 1?
How would you want us to say that? Just for those that make the motion? Approval of secondary plat with showing of triangular piece on Mylar? How would you want that?
Yeah, as long as it's known that there's a little piece down there that needs to be shown before you sign them. And I can't see the lot number of that adjacent lot that they're buying that little triangle
It's
from.
it's 25, yeah,
25.
yeah. A portion of,
25.
portion of lot 25.
I just want to make sure we're clear. Adam, is there a way to, is triangular piece? I don't know how to,
Just,
Does it need to be on the plat? I guess I'm asking Ken.
yeah.
No, it could be also shown as a separate document that gets recorded separately.
Okay, I'd prefer that, because I don't,
Because you want to plat it now.
yeah, we have it under contract. I don't know when we're actually going to close on it, so I'd prefer to get the plat recorded, and then we'll have a separate document for that triangle. So I'll get that approved by Ken.
Ken, how-
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that, John.
So then, the wishes of the board just approve, if they want to approve secondary plat, you don't want any contingency regarding that triangular piece? Or with the understanding that he will have it recorded at some future date?
Yeah.
okay, he said he's fine with that.
3 months? How much
Yeah,
time?
that'd be fine, within 3 months, absolutely.
So if it's a wish of the board to approve secondary plat, would you make a contingency on recording the triangular piece on lot 25 within the next 3 months? Jack, good with you?
Yeah, I'm good
Ken,
with that.
good with you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Want to make a motion for approval for secondary plat for the preserves at Rosewood Estates with the triangular piece, the northeast triangular piece of lot 25.
Say being platted within 30 days.
That'll be platted
Or 90
within,
days, 3 months.
be platted within 90 days.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve secondary plat with contingent on the triangular piece of property on lot 25 being recorded within 3 months. Do
This
I
is
have a
Mike Gillette. I'll
second?
second it.
Is that Mike Gillette?
Sound like it.
Yes, sir.
That was Mike. Discussion from the board? Hearing no discussion. Craig, roll call, please.
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona,
Yes.
Ms. Woland,
Yes.
Ms. Little,
Yes.
Mr. Gillette,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yes. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is another public hearing regarding amending the comprehensive plan to include the zone improvement plan. I believe I saw Tagi and Denny Cobb online if they want to make any comments to the board.
Good evening, everybody. This is Tagir Shami, and as you indicated, as soon as at least okay, great. We have presented this plan previously in your last meeting. This is an amendment to the comprehensive plan. You have received the earlier version of it, and I understand the last final version, you also received that, and the difference between the two is basically the cover page has a December date and a couple of typos that we have identified. Again, this is for the purpose of the town council eventually considering a road impact fee ordinance, and this document will amend the existing comprehensive plan. I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And again, the document that you have in your possession is the same as previously submitted.
Questions, comments from the board for either Tagi or Mr. Cobb?
Mr. Kennedy, this is Craig Phillips.
Yes, sir.
Just want to make a statement that we have had all the documentation related to this zone improvement plan available for public viewing for the last 10 days in Town Hall.
Okay, and all our notifications are in line
Yes,
for
you
the
should have a
public
copy
hearing?
of the notification. Yeah, you should have a copy of the notification in the folder in front of you.
Awesome.
And the only other thing I would request is when the Plan Commission certifies its, Adam, is this recommendation or approval to the council, just if you would allow us the ability to make any additional necessary corrections for any typos that are not substantive changes to the document, that would be appreciated.
So that would be part of our motion that any minor changes that doesn't affect the substance of the study would be allowed by the town council. Is that correct, what you're asking?
Allowed by the Plan Commission as part of their motion and town council, correct.
Okay. All right. Since all the documentation in place, I'm going to open it up again to public hearing for any comments regarding amending the comprehensive plan to include the zone improvement plan. Again, public comment is open if anyone from the public would like to speak, or if there's anyone online that would like to speak. Call out again, anyone from the public? Anyone online? Call one more time. If not, I'm going to close public hearing. regarding the comprehensive plan to include the zone improvement plan. Public hearing is now closed. I will bring it to the board. Any questions or comments from the board to Tagi or Denny? Tagi, just two questions. I understand this is a very thorough report, read through it, understand how you came out with the future EDUs over the next 10 years regarding available property, lots, the zoning for each of those. Did you take into any consideration the effect the road impact fee will have on future development in the town of St. John in coming up with those numbers?
We have used the comprehensive plan, and the zoning, your zoning, code, as a part of all of our analysis, if you have looked at it. So all of those, yes, to answer your question, all of those have been considered in developing the analysis, for the whole document. Those same information, once we develop the land use analysis, then First Group Engineering has used those data to project their traffic and their recommendations as far as future improvements are concerned.
But specifically the road impact fee being installed in the town of St. John, you took that in consideration regarding housing permits in the next year, 2 years, 3 years after that, the impact that would have?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes, that is, yes, and the advisory committee was very much involved in deliberating those projections.
Awesome. And then finally, on your last section of Section 3, financial resources, were other financial resources talked about to the road impact committee, such as a wheel tax?
There is, I believe the final version.
As a potential funding mechanism for the town of St. John?
Yeah, if you look at the current version, the final version, at the request of Council Decker, we added a language that specifically identifies some of those potential outside funding sources. So it is there, and it is up to the council to make a decision to pursue those as a resource.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the resources options that were provided in this study. I just didn't see the one which is so nicely called road or wheel tax, which no one likes the word tax, but it's used throughout the state of Indiana. So I just didn't know if that was something that was discussed with the road impact committee, or if that was brought to their attention, or they brought it to your attention as an option.
The alternative sources of funds were discussed with the committee,
Okay,
and those will also be, when we meet with the council, those will also be discussed with them.
very good. Thank you, Tagi.
Thank you.
Any other comments, discussion from the board? If not, I will entertain a motion from the board regarding amending the comprehensive plan to include the zone improvement plan. And with the contingency that Craig talked about regarding making minor adjustments.
I move to approve the zone improvement plan amendment to the comprehensive plan as set forth in the road impact fee study and zone improvement plan prepared by the Arsch Group and Company and First Group Engineering Incorporated, and certify same to the St. John Town Council.
I have a motion.
Oh, and with, with the town being able to make some minor corrections.
Grammar, yes, corrections. Thank you. I have a motion to make a favorable recommendation. Is there a second?
This is Mike Gillette. I'll second it.
There is a second. Discussion from the board?
7:25 PM.
Hearing no further discussion. Craig, roll call, please.
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona,
Yes.
Ms. Woland,
Yes.
Ms. Little,
Yes.
Mr. Gillette,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Mr. President, this is Adam Decker. I would ask that you complete the certification form that I believe you should have in your packet, hopefully, for the transmission of the certification to the town council.
Yes, they have it in their packet.
Okay,
Yep, it
Yes.
just needs to be completed with the...
I'm sorry, John has it in his packet. Let me be clear, sorry.
I'm signing it right now, Adam.
Okay, and indicate the vote tally. I think there's a provision for that as well. Thank you.
Two more times. Okay.
And John, I have a request. Since Ms. Little is not present, could we have Mr. Burleson as vice president sign on her behalf instead, so we can have Jason make copies of that to provide to the council after this meeting?
God, I thought we had a full quorum. There's only 6?
Well, she's not physically present to sign the document.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm saying, could we have, if Ms. Little doesn't have a problem with it, would it be okay for Mr. Burleson to sign on her behalf, given that he's present, I believe?
I'm
Okay,
present.
very good.
I'm fine with that. If it cannot wait till tomorrow when I can sign it, that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's just best, that way we can get a copy of it in front of the council for the meeting immediately following this one.
Okay.
Thank you for your consideration on that.
All right.
Cross that out, too.
Next on the agenda is item 6A, Crown Point Christian School. I would need a motion to defer. They are not ready for the meeting, so if we can defer them to and we're talking January, the January meeting for site approval. If I can get a motion to defer item 6A.
I make a motion to defer item 6A for the Christian school
That is-
for our meeting.
Okay, we'll defer them to our next regularly scheduled meeting. Craig, will they need to be they'll probably need to be at the study session, just in case the board has any additional question. I
would say, yeah, just in case, correct.
I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Defer?
I second, Donna.
Donna is second. Is there a discussion from the board?
Just to be clear, this is a deferral, correct?
This is a deferral, yes.
Yes.
They're just not
Very
ready.
good. Thank you.
We have a motion to defer. Craig, roll call, please.
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona,
Yes.
Ms. Woland,
Yes.
Ms. Little,
Yes.
Mr. Gillette,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, motion to defer passes 7-0. Next on the agenda, we have continued discussion regarding requests to rezone 40 acres of land from open space to a PUD. The land is a former Sigma farm located on the west side of Calumet Avenue between Heritage Christian School and Greystone Unit 2. The public hearing was closed in December, and we have continued discussion regarding the PUD. With that, Mr. Slager?
Good evening, Jack Slager again with Schilling Development, representing CWS Holdings, the developer of the Greystone development. And we've had this before you a number of times, and we've made a lot of progress with the site. over the meetings. We have now morphed this into a all single-family development consisting of 80 by 140-foot lots. Couple of the other things, we're going to be expanding the park and the bike path. We've designated a space for a future playground area. We're going to continue the sidewalk down Calumet towards the two high schools that are down there. We have increased the covenants on this parcel for heavy architectural control and heavy landscape requirements. And we brought before you at the last meeting some architectural renderings of some home styles that we envision. And we also provided, I sent to Craig, and I also have copies here, but we have put together the actual PUD planned unit development guidelines, which will ultimately become part of the ordinance, spelling out all of the items that we've talked about over the meetings, the requirements and the restrictions that'll be put on this site. So realistically, we're following an R2 guideline as far as the square footage requirements, all of the setback requirements of an R2. The only slight variances from the R2 zoning would be the 80-foot wide lots and then the square footage of the lot ranging from 11,200 to 20,000 square feet. So those two are the only real variances from an R2, but in that respect, we are asking for a favorable recommendation for a rezone to the PUD.
Thank you, Jack. Questions and comments from the board? So Jack, the number of lots haven't changed. It's still 102, correct?
Correct, 102 lots, all single family.
So everything meets R2 zoning except for lot width, square footage of the lot. Am I
That's it.
missing anything? Everything else, the building lot sizes are all the same?
Yeah, we're going to
Setbacks
follow the
are all the
architectural,
same?
yes, we're going to follow the architectural requirements, we're going to follow the setbacks.
And it seems like that's spelled out in this document. I
It's
see
all in
special
there.
Conditions, just the lot and the width.
We're actually exceeding, we're going above and beyond by doing a few more things, requiring no vinyl siding, encouraging a three-car garage. We talked about requiring it, we're going to encourage it.
How do you do that? Oh, you're going to require it now?
No, we're going to encourage it. We're
How
going
do you
to,
encourage it?
by encouraging it.
I read that.
Yeah.
I go, how do you encourage
Yeah.
somebody to?
Heavy landscaping requirements, irrigation, things like that that aren't really covered in your ordinance, but that we require just to take the development up to another level.
Ken, did you review the roadway standard? It meets all our standards?
We haven't got a design, I mean, other than the lengths and the widths are fine.
Okay. Well, if there's any comments or questions, you know, we got this document the other day. Hopefully everyone had an opportunity to review it. The PUD guidelines, it doesn't,
John, this is Craig. The only question I have for Jack is, so are you preparing the actual PUD ordinance for our review?
We
To go
will.
before the council after this next step, after this step, I'm sorry?
We will, I don't think we will have it prior to the council, because we want to actually include with the PUD the final engineering. I guess if they don't need the engineering, we could have the actual PUD document ready for the council. I don't know, assuming we get a favorable recommendation tonight, I don't know when the next council meeting is that we would be on the agenda for.
They don't need the engineering drawings to approve a rezoning, is that correct, Adam? They would just need the proposed, the development plan, the proposed development standards, and the ordinance language, correct?
Yes, that's basically correct. The engineering standards are not necessarily required unless the council wants to make that a condition or a requirement of the approval of the PUD ordinance. So I'm not sure we can answer that question tonight, but yes, you're correct, Craig, that ordinarily those engineering details would not necessarily be required to approve the PUD.
Okay. And they're not asking for any variances or waivers from any of those standards, to my knowledge.
Correct. So, yeah, we can have the ordinance ready again, I don't know when this would be considered by the council, but I think we can put the ordinance together pretty quickly.
The next regular council meeting is the 30th of December.
Okay.
You guys work all types of days, don't you? Question for, is a plan commission supposed to be reviewing the ordinance language versus the guidelines? Should we be making a recommendation on the ordinance? Should we, or could we make a recommendation based on what's in front of us currently?
So, Mr. Chairman, this is essentially, the Plan Commission's activity in reviewing this change in the zone maps. So, in a sense, the ordinance that would approve the PUD is a ordinance that changes the zone maps. So, the fact that the ordinance is not before the Plan Commission tonight, in my opinion, does not deter or prohibit the Plan Commission from acting to either make a favorable recommendation, an unfavorable recommendation, or no recommendation to the town council.
Okay.
Because the passage of the ordinance is purely a legislative act that the town council would take up. However, having said that, in making any motion tonight, and particularly a motion to approve, the Plan Commission can impose a requirement that the guidelines be incorporated into the approval, essentially, the recommendation for a favorable approval, so that, if the Plan Commission wants those guidelines to be part of the ordinance, and that's part of the recommendation to the town council, it can do so.
Okay, because I would imagine, I'm speaking for myself now, that the approval is based on these guidelines he's giving me today for approval is based on some of these guidelines, so, okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yes, Paul.
Okay.
Councilman, I'm sorry.
It can be confusing because it's a planned unit development, PUD. So I just want the whole Plan Commission to fully understand that all the documentation that's required in St. John zoning ordinance for a PUD is present. What we require is the PUD guidelines and findings of fact, which you have in front of you. We also require a detailed site plan. The engineering, such as road width, that would be part of our subdivision control ordinance, has to be met regardless at primary plat. But we do require the site plan with detail. We have that. So the site plan and the PUD guidelines are the parameters that lock down exactly what is allowed in this PUD, and will definitely be a part of the ordinance. And you're welcome to add that to your motion to add that into the ordinance, and that the town council will approve. But I just want to make sure you understand that what our zoning ordinance calls for, you have all of that in front of you, and then some. We've probably overkilled this one a little bit, which is the right way to do it. So, everything is present. Definitely not missing a step on this one. And PUDs are just more confusing because it's not a straight rezone. There's a little bit more to it.
And it doesn't take much to confuse me, Paul.
Yeah, this one's gone down quite the path, but for a better ending for the residents, so it's a good thing.
So hearing discussion, comments from the board. If not, I'll entertain a motion regarding approval of a rezone from open space to, I'll say R2 PUD. referencing, if the wishes of the board, the plan unit guidelines given to us, as well as please reference the finding of facts, which I don't have a sheet.
And Mr. Chairman, again, this is Adam Decker. This would be, again, this is a recommendation, either favorable, unfavorable, or no recommendation. So the motion, whoever makes the motion, I would recommend that they include those words, that it's either a recommendation, a favorable recommendation, an unfavorable recommendation, or no recommendation, if that's the intent of the plan commission member. But it's a recommendation to the town council.
Want to make a favorable recommendation for Greystone Unit 3 from open space to R2 PUD and the guidelines that's been given to us, the 3-page document guidelines,
Can you please reference the finding of facts?
and the reference of finding of facts,
Thank you. We have a motion to make a favorable recommendation
4 pages.
for rezone of the 40 acres of open space to an R2 PUD, including in the ordinance, the plan unit development guidelines presented to us for Greystone Unit 3, referencing the finding of facts. Is there a second?
This is Donna, I second.
We have a second. Discussion from the board? Hearing no discussion, Craig, can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona? She said she's having trouble with her microphone, but she says yes. Okay.
Hold up a piece of paper.
Ms. Woland?
Yes.
Ms. Little?
Yes,
Mr. Gillette?
Yes.
Mr. Gill?
Yes.
And Mr. Kennedy?
Yes, motion to approve, or favorable recommendation passes 7-0.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time on this one.
Adam, real quick, before the next two, I don't know if I've ever handled a release of bond. Is this a recommendation to the town council to release the bond, or do we just authorize the release of bond?
I think we have that authority.
Just make,
To be honest, I'm not sure what the plan commission has done in the past. My experience tells me that this would be a recommendation to the town council, but I'm not certain of that.
okay, I got a thumbs
That's
up here.
correct.
I believe that's correct.
Okay, yes. So, to the board members, the next item on the agenda would be a favorable, unfavorable, no decision, recommendation to the town council to release bond. So, next on the agenda is, bond release for Summerlin Phase 1. Mr. Altoff, how are you, sir?
Good. Jeff Yatsko with Olthoff Homes. Pretty simple. We're looking for bond release to a maintenance guarantee for Summerlin Phase 1.
And for the board's information, I received a letter from Mr. Kraus, the town's engineer, that reads, Summerlin Estates Phase 1, release of bond. Dear Mr. Kennedy, Public Work has verified that the public improvements have been completed and as-built recorded drawings have been submitted for this project. The bond for this project may be released. So if I can get a favorable recommendation to release the bond to the town council from the board, please.
Want to make a favorable recommendation to release the bond of Summerlin Phase 1.
I got a favorable recommendation to release the bonds. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is that Nancy?
Nancy?
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Nancy. I have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion. Craig, roll call, please.
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona?
Can you hear?
Yes. Well, yes. Well, we could. She says yes, she's still having problems with her microphone. Okay, Ms. Woland,
Yes.
Ms. Little,
Yes.
Mr. Gillette,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, release, recommendation, favorable recommendation, release of bond for Summerlin Phase 1 passes 7-0. Next on the agenda, another request for release of bond for Walden Clearing Phase 2. Mr. Yatsko, any, same
Thing, just for Walden Clearing Phase 2.
Same thing. All right. Again, I received a letter from Mr. Kraus, dear Mr. Kennedy, regarding Walden Clearing Phase 2. Public Work has verified that the public improvements have been completed and as-built record drawings have been submitted for this project. The bond for this project may be released. If I can get a favorable recommendation to the town council to release bonds from the board, please.
Want to make a favorable recommendation to the town council to release the bond for Walden Clearing Phase 2.
I have a favorable recommendation. Is there a second?
This is Mike Gillette. I'll second it.
Mr. Gillette, second. Discussion? Hearing no discussion. Craig, roll call, please.
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona,
Yes.
Ms. Woland,
Yes.
Ms. Little,
Yes.
Mr. Gillette,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yes. Motion, favorable recommendation passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh. Craig, was there?
So, yeah, there was an addition. I sent out a revised, at Mr. Decker's request, I sent out a revised agenda to add an item E regarding discussion about the road impact fee ordinance, which is the next step in the process after the zone improvement plan certification to the council.
Okay.
I think Adam, you had some things you wanted to cover on this.
Yes, so for purposes of the meeting tonight, hopefully, all of the members of the Plan Commission have received the draft of the road impact fee ordinance. The ordinance itself is to be adopted in the same manner that zoning ordinances are adopted, and that's pursuant to state statute. And so the process for ultimately the town council's consideration of the road impact fee ordinance starts with the Plan Commission. And so for that reason, I have presented that to the members and would request that the Plan Commission take action to move that the impact fee ordinance be considered for approval at a public hearing that would be held during the special meeting of the Plan Commission on December 16th, and that the town manager prepare and give notice of that hearing by publication. The draft of the ordinance would be made available to the public for a period of not less than 10 days prior to the December 16th meeting and special meeting and hearing on that night. And so those are the steps that need to be taken by the Plan Commission. And so then on December 16th, the Plan Commission, following the hearing, would consider whether to make an approval of the road impact fee ordinance to the town council.
Thank you, Mr. Decker. Hearing that, can I get a motion to that effect?
Yeah, I want to make a motion. I have reviewed the proposed road impact fee ordinance and move that it be considered for approval at a public hearing to be held during the special meeting of the Plan Commission on December 16th, 2020 at 7 PM, and that the town manager prepare and give notice of said hearing by publication.
I have a motion by Bob. Is there a second?
This is Mike Gillette, I'll second it.
There is a second. Discussion from the board? Hearing no discussion. Craig, roll call, please.
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona,
Yes.
Ms. Woland,
Yes.
Mr. Little, I'm sorry, Ms. Little,
Yes.
sorry, Mr. Gillette,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yes. Motion passes 7-0.
All right, I'll prepare that accordingly, and I will confer with Mr. Decker to make sure that that's done correctly prior to the meeting.
All right. Item F, public hearing. There are no public hearing announcements. Public comment. Is there anyone in the general public that would like to speak now, or anyone online? Craig, I do have a question for you. Altoff Homes, I received 3 maintenance guarantee letters. Is there anything that the board needs to do with those? Walden Clearing Phase 2, Walden Clearing Phase 1, and Summerlin Estates Phase 1. It's just a warranty letter for the two-year period.
Ken, do you know what we typically do with those off the top of your head?
Not sure. I think what we normally do is just accept the maintenance bond. I don't know if it's the plan commission that does that or the town council, but since the town council normally approves the bond with a recommendation from the plan commission, I would think these maintenance bonds would work the same way.
The last line says, effective date of guarantee will be in conjunction with plan commission action and acceptance at the regular scheduled meeting on December 2nd, 2020.
Yeah, you want to accept that.
All right. So, for the board's consideration, I have, there was 3 letters received from Altoff Homes regarding maintenance guarantee for Walden Clearing Phase 1, Walden Clearing Phase 2, and maintenance guarantee of Summerlin Estates Phase 1. So this is a recommendation to the town council to accept? Is that? Paul, I'm sorry, Paul, I'm looking at you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I believe the plan commission accepts those.
We accept
as
it?
you just read on the bottom, yeah.
Okay.
It's, for everyone in the plan commission, it's, the bond has now been, we've recommended that the bond be ended, essentially. So they've done all the improvements, they're all installed. Our town engineer, Ken Kraus, verifies all the improvements are installed, but now they're responsible for maintenance for a period of time. I believe it's 2 years.
Do you want me to
So-
read the letter?
Yeah, go ahead and read the letter so that they understand what they're approving. It's a pretty,
I believe they're, all 3
Boring thing.
letters read the same. So, so it's dated November 6th. Walden Clearing Development LLC does hereby and guarantee all work, construction, and installation made pursuant hereto, including but not limited to streets, curbs, gutters, potable water distribution improvements, stormwater drainage and sewer improvements, and are accepted by the town of St. John against defects or imperfection in workmanship, materials, or equipment for a period of 2 years thereafter the date of acceptance thereof by the town. It is herewith covenant and agreed that any defects or imperfection either in workmanship, material, or equipment which may exist, develop, or become apparent within a 2-year period will be repaired or replaced as may be necessary to the satisfaction of the town of St. John at the undersigned expense without any expense to said town. Said defects or imperfections will be repaired or replaced within a reasonable time after said defect is discovered, brought to the attention of the undersigned, and requests made for such a repair or replacement. The covenants, promises, warranties, and guarantees made herein are expressly made to the Plan Commission of the Town of St. John and may be enforced by them and is made in consideration to induce the Plan Commission to accept said plat and the Town of St. John to accept a aforesaid work and installation. Effective date of guarantee will be in conjunction with the Town Council action. Guarantee will be in conjunction. This one says Town Council action. The other two say in conjunction with the Plan Commission action and acceptance at the regularly scheduled meeting on December 2nd, 2020.
So,
Oh, this is October 28th, 2020.
yeah, so Mr. Chairman, so our subdivision control ordinance calls for this 2-year warranty. So they're essentially giving you a document that states that the improvements have been installed. We've released the bond or, surety bond or credit. And now that letter is, mirrors what our subdivision control ordinance requires, which is a Plan Commission document. So I would recommend that you accept it, and if it's necessary for the town council to accept them as well, which I don't believe it is in the case of these, but you could make that as part of your motion, that if necessary, the town council can also accept those, and we'll have legal counsel clarify that.
Okay.
I don't recall
Yeah,
ever doing that as a council action.
Yeah.
Usually that's Plan
These two
Commission.
say Plan Commission, I'm sorry, the Summerlin Estate Phase 1 and the Walden Clearing Phase 2, last line says conjunction with Plan Commission on December 2nd, 2020.
So there's
This
no
one
harm in the,
Walden Clearing is Town Council with October 28th. So,
right, there's no harm in the Plan Commission accepting all of them.
Okay.
And then also recommending that council review and forward as necessary to the town council if actions required.
all right, so for consideration by the board, if I can get a recommendation to accept the maintenance guarantees for Walden Clearing Phase 1, Phase 2, and Summerlin Estates Phase 1, contingent on review by the town council. And I'm also gonna ask for Ken Kraus, Craig Phillips, and Adam Decker to review.
Yeah, it's not contingent on our review.
Or
You can accept it yourselves regardless. It's not a problem. It's a document that you want to accept because
It just starts a 2-year process.
yeah, and it's called for on our subdivision control ordinance. So they're giving you something you've actually asked for as a Plan Commission. So you want to just accept that.
All right,
And also recommend for council to review if town council needs to accept it as well.
because I don't want to miss out on 2 months of warranty, because this one says October. I don't want to miss out on November.
They probably missed getting it here, so.
Yeah. All right, so again, it does a recommendation to accept maintenance guarantee for Walden Clearing Phase 1, Phase 2, and Summerlin Phase 1, Estates Phase 1. If I can get a motion to accept.
Want to make a motion to accept maintenance guarantee of Walden Clearing Phase 1, Walden Clearing Phase 2, and Summerlin Estates Phase 1.
I have a motion to accept maintenance guarantees. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Mike Gillette.
I got a second. Discussion from the board. Hearing no discussion. Craig, can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Burleson,
Yes.
Ms. Cardona,
Yes.
Ms. Boland,
Yes.
Ms. Little,
Yes.
Mr. Todd,
Yes.
Mr. Gill,
Yes.
and Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, motion to accept passes 7-0. Any comments, concern from the board? If not, call for adjournment. Hearing none.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mike, second.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Well, we'll just assume aye. All right, everyone, take care. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.